Is there something to it's just one game, it's early on, you can learn? You never want a loss, but there's good things to learn from it.
100%. Given that, like all my teammates said, it is just one game. It's not like we lost the Super Bowl and we have no more games to play after this. It's we get to look at it, go back on the film, correct what we need to, and move on. Because we can't get hung up on this just one game, because we got 16, 17, 15 more to play.
Yeah.
So we got some time.
And it's not in conference, it's not in division. Obviously, it's not the end of the world, as you said. What was the most frustrating part, though, especially when you watch back the film on Monday, looking back at that and being like, man, we were close?
Even as bad as we played, obviously I never want to, say that we played bad, but even though we didn't play to our best ability, watching the film, we still, should have won that game. And that's what hurts the most, is that, there are some games where it's like you play really hard and it's a shootout, and at the end of the game, there's always one winner and one loser, and you can accept that. But this one is just kind of like one of those, wish you could get it back and redo it. But
yeah, for sure. Tough day for the offensive line, obviously. Musical chairs, I think you guys called it back there. Jordan Love sacked 5 times, but Zach Tom left with an injury. Aaron Banks not able to finish the game out as well. Here's what Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love talked about the O-line post-game.
Guys have shuffled in and done some good things. So it's one of those things. It's that next man up mentality. Everybody that suits up, be ready to play. And I think those guys did a good job coming in on those short notice plays. But it's tough.
We got to look at just some of the things that we're asking our guys to do in terms of protection scheme. We got to do it better. We got to come up with better stuff for our guys to put them in better positions to go out there and compete.
How difficult is it when it is musical chairs and you got Zach leaving after one play and you're just not getting that continuity, which is so important for an O-line?
Yeah, chemistry is really important on the O-line. I think it's one of the top groups on the field that requires it, because no matter what, sometimes you can't directly talk to the guy next to you, so you kind of just have to feel it. So having guys come in and shuffling around is hard, but this is the league, and unfortunately things happen, so the next guy up has to be able to step in and be able to perform to the expectation of the whole line, even though they may not be, warmed up or were expecting to come in as soon as they did.
Yeah, and I think Matt said it on Monday. He's like, maybe even he underestimated how good that Cleveland front is. At some point, you and I were kind of talking about, you just kind of tip your cap because they played pretty well and they're a really good front.
Yeah, 100%. Got to give credit where credit's due, and they play really well. And in this league, if both teams are playing really well, it kind of just comes down to those last few seconds. And for us, we just need to go back to the drawing board and get better.
That's
simple, right?
It seems like it is, but it's an easy game, right? Just get better.
Right. It's simple, but it isn't easy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the positives now. Time for our Associated Bank play of the game. And we're going to go with Rashawn Gary. 2 sacks on the day as our play of the game. One of the easiest sacks he will get here. He was unblocked. He leads the NFL with 4.5 sacks. That is the Associated Bank play of the game. How much does he benefit from having Micah opposite him?
I think they're really benefiting off each other.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you have 2 elite guys. It's hard to, you're just going to double team both guys. You can't really do that. So if Micah's getting, double teamed, RG's got the one-on-one, and then vice versa. If he's getting double teamed, so it's a beautiful thing having both those guys out there.
When you're going up against Rashawn in practice, stuff like that, what does he do so well?
Practice is hard. I mean, that's the one thing that I respect about our whole defense is that they practice hard, and we're right there with them. So the saying goes, iron sharpens iron, and I think it's just that's why I could tip my hat to, and I know RG is going to come out every day and practice, so we're going to do that too.
Yeah. All right, coming up, we highlight our sub of the game against the Browns, how the Packers are raising money every time they find the end zone. You're watching Inside the Huddle, presented by Network Health.
What's up, Inside the Huddle fans? It's your guy, Donald Driver here. To give you this week's Sub of the Game, brought to you by Cousin Sub.
Tight end John Fitzpatrick caught his first career touchdown pass, a 3-yard score on 3rd and goal from the 3 to give Green Bay the lead late in the 3rd quarter. And QB1 liking what TE3 did on that play.
It was awesome. I think for a guy like that who's just, like you said, been grinding, doing things the right way, and obviously, hasn't had too many ops to catch the ball, and he's been a great blocker for us. But, when those ops come, he made a big-time play right there, and, happy for him.
That was the Cousin Subs sub of the game. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Walk me through that 3rd down play.
Yeah, it was. We had quite a series going on there. It was a little warm, so we kind of started the play off, and it kind of went off schedule, as you saw. Mm-hmm. And Fitz did a kind of a good job kind of getting into Jordan's vision and finding some open grass and scoring the first touchdown of the game.
What was the first read? Do you remember? Like, what was the play meant to be? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Without giving too much away, obviously your playbook.
I'm trying not to. There was a couple MAs, mental, like missed assignments, mental errors, throughout the offense on that play specifically. But actually, I think it ended up helping us out a little bit.
Okay.
Because it didn't draw too much attention over to where Jordan was kind of rolling out to. So, with everything that went wrong, it still went right.
And you know what? Sometimes that's how the NFL is, right? Like sometimes you have everything drawn up perfectly and it doesn't work. And here it's like, all right, we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, time for a Sargento touchdowns for Hunger tote board update. 1 touchdown this past week, like we mentioned, that brings the total up to $14,000 this year. Sargento donating $2,000 to fight hunger in Wisconsin. 7 touchdowns times 2, that equals $14K. These generous donations will be shared by the Hunger Task Force in Milwaukee and Paul's Pantry here in Green Bay. So does that mean now that you know that, you're going to be pushing harder for more touchdowns?
Always. Not only for us, but for, feeding people.
What is your, what have you done to give back to the community so far in your time here in Green Bay?
Just try to do it. I mean, whenever I'm asked, to help, I just say yes, whether that's going and, I don't know, it's slipping my mind right now, actually.
I think you've done the vets thing, I believe. At Lambeau? Maybe I could.
You're 100%. Yes,
I
we
saw
did.
that in the media guide.
Yeah, we did. We talked to the vets and all that. And then I talked to a Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, nice.
About kind of like what they want to do and, playing sports and, if there's anything they want to do or any dreams they have to kind of just keep going and not to limit themselves and do whatever they want to.
Good stuff. Coming up next on Inside the Huddle, we'll talk about the reunion for Micah Parsons and as he gets ready to head back to Big D and face his old team, the Cowboys.
And once I heard a sense of home, I always love home. And I don't want to be too close to home, but I like things that feel like home. And I think I got that feeling here just with the guys in this locker room. I tell you, I've never been in a locker room with guys like this. Like, I came in Tuesday for treatment, and I saw almost every guy in the locker room. I said, this is the first time I've ever seen this. And that just shows how much these guys want to be here, how much they like. They do say it's because there ain't nothing else to do, but there's other things.
There is other things you can do, according to Micah Parsons in Green Bay. I'm guessing a few eyeballs will be on your game next Sunday night in Dallas. The Micah Parsons reunion. What sort of impact has he made to this team? Can you feel it?
Yeah. Going into this season, we kind of had that feeling that we were kind of, brewing on something special, right? Mm-hmm. And then having him added to our team is like, it's like the icing on the cake, It's like he just kind of brings a sort of a swagger, sort of a confidence to the team that we already had, but you'll always take those boosts.
Oh, for sure.
He's kind of a big one.
Yeah, I know we're just getting to the beginning of the week. Do you think he's going to talk much about Dallas this week at all, or is he going to downplay that? What would you guess?
I don't think so.
Yeah?
I think he's going to be silent, and he's just going to come out on Sunday and do his thing.
Yeah. I'd be remiss, though, if I didn't mention it's also the Kenny Clark reunion.
Yeah.
What's it going to be like going up against him, and how much did you go up against him in practice?
Shoot, I've been going up against KC for the past 3 years, you know, and
parallel UCLA guys as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Kenny's a great player, so I'm excited to go against him in a game. It will be interesting though because we have had so many reps against each other, you know, across the line, especially, you know, even without him too. So it'll be fun. It'll be a good game.
Who has the advantage, do you think, in that sense? Is it the offensive lineman or the defensive lineman, or is it just a stalemate when you know his counter moves and he knows your counter moves? Or do you kind of have to maybe toss something new in there?
Yeah, it's definitely it's going to be one of those things where might have to toss in some new things just because Kenny is, you know, he's one of the best D tackles to play the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be all right.
We'll be all right. That's going to be fun to see. Network Health is your hometown advantage health plan. Not a lot of home games actually on the schedule for a while. You guys aren't home for a while. In fact, just one between week 2 and week 9, and that's a week 6 game against the Bengals coming out of the bye. Green Bay is 2-0 at Lambeau this season. Last year, you guys went 0-3 in the division at Lambeau. You already changed that week 1, winning against Detroit. What do you think early the difference is against your division this year?
Starting fast. That's the main thing. Just because our division is so explosive.
Yeah.
At the turn of one play, the score could swing one way or the other. So starting fast and being consistent throughout the game is going to be huge for us in regards to being at the top of our league or division.
Yeah, and in essence, AT&T Stadium has become like Lambeau South because you guys haven't lost there, I think, since 2007 is the last time you lost at AT&T Stadium. What's it like playing there?
It's loud.
Yeah?
It's loud. It's magnificent. It's bright. But at the end of the day, you know, it's still 100 yards by 53 1/3. So
and just hope the sun doesn't get in your eyes from that.
Yeah, right.
Well, there won't be sun in the eyes of games at 7:20.
Yeah.
So. All right, make sure to visit us on our Facebook, Instagram, X, ITH Green Bay on Instagram, Inside the Huddle on TikTok, ITH Green Bay on Facebook, and also find us online at ithgreenbay.com, as well as listen to Inside the Huddle podcast on Spotify and anywhere you get your podcasts. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside the Huddle, presented by Network Health. Like we mentioned earlier, Sean's first time on the show, so figured we'd get to know him a little bit better. Handful of rapid-fire questions. All right, your dad was an international motocross professional, and your grandfather was a boxer, professional boxer. Which one of those would you prefer to do?
Boxer.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, well, I'd rather just mess this up instead of the whole lot. You know?
All right, okay. You did not play football until high school, correct?
Correct.
You were big into rugby,
Yes.
and I believe you were a fantastic shot putter, true or false?
That's true.
All right, which of those 3 sports did you like best?
Rugby.
Yeah?
Yeah, rugby was like, you know how they say first love or whatever, but I loved rugby, and then probably go shot put. Yeah.
Football was 3rd.
Well, I thought we were just talking pre. Football is now at the top.
Well, now it's number 1, but back then,
yeah,
I heard a crazy story. How did you come to play on the football team? This story I heard is crazy if true.
Yeah, so I was at a small private school walking down the halls, and the high school football coach kind of pulled me to the side and asked, "Hey, you play football?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Are you interested?" I said, "I guess, yeah, sure," you know. And I guess after that, it was Eric Presler was the coach's name, and he was like, "Yeah, why don't you come on out and you know, next year and see what happens." I said, "Okay," you know.
Were you playing rugby like for the school at the time? Did they have a rugby club?
I was in a club of like the nearby city.
Okay.
And
so what did you think of football at that time? Like, man, it's just football. Rugby.
I was like, man, I gotta put on pads and a helmet.
Let me just hit people without anything.
And I gotta just basically just back up and get, you know, a hit while the quarterback gets to throw the ball. You know, because in rugby I was used to, you know, getting the ball, tossing it all around. So it was new, but I enjoyed kind of the one-on-ones of like the O-line and D-line, just kind of like.
It's kind of like a rugby scrum at all times.
A little bit, but it's almost more like you versus him.
Sure.
So it was more
gladiators.
Kinda,
if you didn't play in the NFL, what would you be doing?
No sports or
anything. Anything.
I'd probably still be playing rugby or throwing shot or playing baseball.
Baseball?
Yeah.
Okay. What position did you play?
Third, first, catcher.
Okay.
A little bit pitcher, not too much.
if you had one meal you could eat for the rest of your life, what would it be? Or like your death row meal, actually, is a better way to put it.
My mom's chicken adobo.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
Favorite restaurant in the Green Bay area?
Chives.
Favorite NFL stadium to play in outside of Lambeau?
Vikings.
That place gets loud.
It gets real loud, but it's a cool spot.
Best trip you have ever been on?
Hawaii, I guess, with my family.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right, we will be right back on Inside the Huddle, presented by Network Health. Next week, we will be pleased to be joined by former Packers wide receiver and Super Bowl champion James Jones, a former Inside the Huddle guest host. We'll take a look back at some of his favorite memories. That's coming up next Tuesday after the Cowboys game. You mentioned it. You knew this team going into the season. I feel like we talked to you in the locker room enough that you guys had a confidence that you guys were going to be good. Obviously, a little bit of a setback against the Browns. What makes you guys still confident, though, that you guys have what it takes to go all the way? And I'm not trying to make you look forward, because I know Matt LaFleur is preaching 1-0 and you're just looking forward to the Cowboys. But what do you like best about what this roster has?
Just the energy, the juice, and the commitment that our whole team has to, our mission. Like you said, we don't want to look too far ahead, and we just want to go, take it one day at a time and 1 week at a time. But just the passion and the drive that every single guy on this team has is, I haven't been in the league long, but I've been in the league long enough to kind of feel that difference in I guess the air, really.
Yeah. Listen, you guys ultimately fell to the defending Super Bowl champions last year. Now, hopefully the next time we get you, you will be a Super Bowl champion. Sean Rhyan, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for watching Inside the Huddle, presented by Network Health. First time guest host, give it up for him. Sean Rhyan, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week.